What's up? This is Justin, aka Newspaper Face, aka Face Tats McGee, aka that fucking dude. So yesterday I was busy talking about how when you try to fit in, you're gonna get forgotten. All right. When you worry most about whether or not you be sounding like other people, whether or not you are looking like other people, you're actively, how do I turn this thing off? Can you pause that for a second, man? No, you're good. I just thought I wanted to do that in here today just because I thought it'd be fun. So not only when you're trying to fit in are you being fake to yourself, but you're being fake to other people, and you're denying yourself the opportunity of meeting the people who will really fucking like you. Now, here's an interesting thing, man, and I talk about business a lot with other people, but I don't talk a lot about it here, but I'm going to do that today. So when you're talking business, you need to apply the same concepts that you would apply for day-to-day living. When you can align your thoughts and you can align your actions or your business's basic concepts and your business's actions alongside something that's really basic, which is natural fucking law, the natural laws of nature, you will notice massive changes. Here's a cool example. These guys are in here tattooing first thing. There ain't no clients in here yet. They're just fucking tattooing each other, discussing theory, trying to fucking get better. Because you know what? It ain't about the fucking image here. It's about being what we're talking about being. It's about becoming. And I think that when you realize in life that you are never going to arrive, but you can always be becoming, some shit changes. All right? But let's get back to the subject at hand here. Fitting in means forgotten. In nature, when things fit in, we call it camouflage. Okay? Now, what does camouflage do for you? You disappear. Nobody fucking pays attention to stuff that fits in, okay? This is so fucking important in basic day-to-day life, in basic business concepts, in everything you fucking do. The reality is that when you are consistently attempting to be like something else, you are going to get forgotten 1,000% of the time. Let me give you a good example here real quick. People want to say stuff like, well, I just want my business's fucking, work to stand on its own. I want it to speak for itself. Well, guess what, buddy? Coca-Cola and Pepsi use multi-million, possibly billion-dollar ad campaigns, and they're probably the two or some of the two most known brands in the fucking world. And you think you got it more figured out than them? You're fucking retarded. The end. There is no caveat to that. If you think you have it more figured out than multi-billion, multi-million-dollar ad companies, and that you don't have to advertise, that you don't have to show who you are, the real you, not the one that wants to sound like the dude down the street and act like the business down the street, you don't know what you're talking about. And the reality is that I have learned that my biggest asset is who I am and the unique aspects about that. Which is why, for example, my business focuses on customer experience. Because guess what? Quality is already an expectation. It's 2021. Most of us know what a good tattoo is or isn't. That's not entirely true, but we should know. Let me say it that way. We should know what a good tattoo is or isn't. Most people should. That doesn't mean they do. But with as often, I'll help you with that in just a minute, man. With as often as I see, booty tattoos come across Facebook and people are like, they're the best person ever, blah, blah, blah. What it tells me is that everybody wants to believe that what they have is the best. But that's not real. Everything is a matter of perspective. And when I offer, for example, the perspective that our business model is that we want to help tell your story, we want to get to know your story, we care to know who the fuck you are, that attracts the people that want to have somebody who knows who they are do business with them. Frankly, when you go to Jiffy Lube, you don't expect the dude to walk up and they might know your name because it's in their computer, but they're not going to walk up and be like, hey, how's your wife and kids today? You know what I mean? They ain't going to ask those kinds of questions because they don't fucking care, first of all. Let's be honest. I ain't trying to hate on them, but it's hard to care about that stuff when you're just working a job like that, and so companies make massive attempts at trying to personalize their experience with their clients, which is exactly what we don't just make an attempt at, we do. We talk to our clients. We have a consistent rapport with them. Literally every person that sits in my chair, I know about their personal life. I ask them about it. I talk to them about it. We talk about the meaning of their tattoo. I don't set up until they're here because I want to take a half hour just vibing with my people, making sure that I'm doing the best job representing them with my art. Okay? And because of that, I've reached a point in time where very often people message me and say, I just want you to fucking vibe on this, dog. I just want you to do something cool. And I don't really care what it is. I just know that you're going to make it dope. And the half hour it takes for me to ask some questions instead of saying, oh, you want a Phoenix? Cool. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Pay me. Get the fuck out. People don't like the way that feels. If you're a tattoo artist, I'm inviting you right now to knock that shit off. Quit being callous. Quit being cold. Quit being jaded. Quit acting like you're too good to talk to your clients, like they're so annoying. We draw on people for a living, no matter how annoying that might get sometimes, no matter how weird or played out a design might feel, it is our responsibility to take joy in that and find a way to make that a unique experience for that client. Yes, there's only so many ways you can tattoo an infinity symbol, but the experience that person has with you can be unique. And that in and of itself is a very, very powerful tool. So when we try to fit in like all the other tattoo artists, this is just me speaking from the perspective of my industry, and I've reached a point in time where I don't care how many other tattoo artists I piss off. I really don't. What's happened is that they all want to sit around and talk about how cool and humble each other are and how all of us, know how to do this or know how to do that. And we just get into the cool club mentality. And we forget that we're dealing with actual human beings with our business, and we're dealing with their personal appearance. Yes, of course, there's going to be days that are harder than others. There's going to be days when you get annoyed at stuff that don't make no sense. But this is our job, guys. Let's stop trying to basically sit and play grab ass with the other dudes that are in the industry that we want to impress and start impressing the people that fucking matter, our clients. Dude down the street don't pay my bills, and dude down the street don't put the work on my clients. Why the fuck do I give a shit what he think? That's fitting in. That's I want to be like every other tattoo artist in the world. That's retarded. Yes, I like it when I have high-end tattooers. I like it when I have tattooers I respect say, I love that piece you did. That's cool, man. But that don't mean nearly as much to me as when a client writes a 5-paragraph review about the experience they had with me and how I made them feel. Because at the end of the day, it's not what you do for people. It's not what you say. It's how you made them feel. And you could provide the highest, craziest, nicest quality tattoo you could ever think of and be such a dick to that person that they will never recommend anybody to you. And I know because I hear this kind of shit all the time, all right? Now, applying this to your day-to-day life, man, how is fitting in getting you forgotten? How do you make a tribe of people? How do you reach a community and become part of one? Because let's be honest, the strongest thing that you can possibly ever experience as a human being is a sense of community. Everything we do, we want to be recognized. We want to be part of a greater whole. And because we live in a massive society nowadays, we forget that at one point in time, we would only ever know or interact with possibly, maybe at maximum, 1,000 people in human history. There was times when that was your entire circle. Now, you're 2 people away from knowing 1 million fucking people. That's wild, all right? But because of that, you get lost in the mix, man. And you can only attract the people that will vibe with you and the people that will become your community and your people by being you. As long as we sit around and try to dress like other people do, we try to act like other people do, as long as we doing all that, man, we ain't doing shit for ourselves. And I'll point this out, man, because I used to be part of a kind of an underground community that took pride on being different. Well, guess what? To all you punk rockers out there, man, I love y'all, but you all just wearing another fucking uniform. I know because I've been in the circles and heard people judge about so-and-so's thing or whose patch is wearing what fucking jacket. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all just look like each other. And that's fine. You might like the way that is. That's cool, man. But like, I used to get people all the time like, why are you wearing that patch? Because I like that shit. That's a hip-hop group. I don't give a fuck if it's a hip-hop group or not, dog. I like it. Fuck you. All right? I'm at a point in time in my life where I have realized that the more I pretend to try to do something to fit in, the faker I am. And we all talk about how we hate fake people, but meanwhile, we're trying to act like everybody else. We all have a unique gift that will never be activated as long as we try to take and act like the gifts of somebody else. You know what I mean? Not all of us are great at speaking publicly. That's okay, man. Some of us are better at writing. Some of us are better at visual arts, and some of us are better at musical arts, man. So, these are all skills that can be developed. Some of us have passions. Some of us have callings. All of us have passions and callings. Let me rephrase that. But they're different for each person. That is the only unique thing about you. The only unique thing about you is your personality and your soul and what that means, okay? But while you don't remember, every day that you don't remember that that's the unique thing about you, that's the day that you're messing up. When you think, man, my needs aren't getting met, I need this, I need that, I need this. That's animalistic. All of us got that. All of us want stuff. All of us have desires and dreams and this and that. That's why I say I don't care about people's dreams. I really don't care. I don't care until you start taking action on it, because until then, it's a pipe dream. Once it's had action taken on it, it becomes a goal. There's a difference, big difference, because everybody a dreamer, but not everybody a goal setter. And the thing about all this for me that really just like strikes home the hardest is that we all focus so much on this basic animalistic shit about trying to have our needs met for our lust or our gluttony for our food or any of these basic animalistic human traits. And we forget that the best thing we can give the world is us. And if we give the world a fake version of us, we're giving a counterfeit, okay? And I don't know about y'all, but as far as I understand it, counterfeits don't carry no actual weight. They don't carry any actual currency to it. They have no buying power, especially once somebody finds it out, because then they throw it the fuck away. And that's what happens when you try to fit in. You're a counterfeit. When you try to fit in with something, you are no longer a unique, an amazing, fucking miraculous human being. Just the sheer likelihood of you existing, let alone the sheer likelihood of all of the events coming to take place to make you the unique person you are, it is astronomical. I'm not a mathematician, so I'm not even going to try to pretend to know the numbers, but I know that it is astronomical, okay? I've read it hundreds of times now. But when we forget that each one of us is literally a miracle, we forget that we have these unique things to give the world. We have these unique, a different way. Somebody can be an accomplished visual artist right next to another accomplished visual artist and produce almost the exact same thing. But there's going to be just minor differences in how they hold their brush, and how they attack this type of shading, how they do this, that, or the other. And as it turns out, in my opinion, for you to develop style as a tattoo artist, or just as an artist in general, you have to make mistakes over and over and over again until that mistake actually becomes a part of your repertoire, and it becomes so refined that it is eventually called style. Because I know some of my favorite tattooers out there, some of the guys that are the most stylistic people. I love their work so much. It's not because it's the most realistic. It's not because it's the most this, that, or the other. It's because when I see it, I'm like, damn, that's a Dave Tevenall piece. Damn, that's my homie Chase Glacier. Damn, that's my so on, so forth, so on and so forth. Is when I see it, I'm like, I just know unquestionably it's them. It's like I see their soul in their artwork. And I see this in tattooing too, man. So many people trying to mimic somebody else's style, trying to do their own thing, not trying to do their own thing, just trying to mimic what they see. And it's good. At first, copying is a great way for you to learn what you like and don't like. But eventually, in my humble opinion, it's a powerful tool to stop looking at other tattooers, at other artists, at other people, and trying to gain your influence and gain your, inspiration from other people, and start drawing the inspiration from your own life, your own soul, the own thing that is experiencing this shit. And you're telling me you'd rather draw inspiration from somebody else's experiences? Again, counterfeits will always be thrown away eventually. Once they're discovered, people stop fucking with it. How many times have we seen a celebrity claim to be this, claim to be that, claim to be whatever, and then something comes out and it turns out they ain't what they say they is, and all of a sudden everybody not only stops fucking with that person, they straight up attack that person. Nobody likes counterfeits. For you to try to fit in, for you to try to camouflage yourself, there's one of two things that are happening. You're either a predator in disguise or you're a coward. Because the only two things camouflage does is hide you. And it's the only one thing it does. And the only two reasons why you want to be hidden is so that you can come out and attack something, or so that you don't get attacked. Ouch. Ouch. But what I'm really inviting everybody here to do today is to take a minute and just ask yourself why you do what you do, and if it's really making you happy. That goes for your business, that goes for wherever you work, that goes forever. Because I've had at least 4 people recently tell me that they were so inspired by me telling them to jump off the cliff and throw their fucking job they hate away and start their business that they're really considering doing it. 2 or 3 of these people have actually just done it. Like, fuck this, I'm going in, I'm quitting on Monday, I'm done with this. I'm jumping off this cliff, I'll build a parachute on my way down. My dude right here moved from South Carolina. Just up and quit. He did a guest spot down here. And then, actually, no, it was a couple of days beforehand. He's like, man, I'm going to quit my job down here if you're down for me moving down there and being part of what you got going. If you feel like I'm a good fit. And I was, damn, all right, son, let's do this. You know? I respect that so much. I respect people that are unapologetically themselves so much. And as it turns out, it's an interesting concept that so many of the people in high school that I went to high school with, that tried so hard to be like everybody else, all of the people that wanted to be just like the jocks or just like the popular girls, the popular boys and stuff like that, most of them work 9-to-5 jobs they hate. Most of them live jobs and lives that they don't find interesting. But meanwhile, motherfuckers like me that got the shit beat out of them, made fun of daily, whatever. As many things as you can pile on there are things that I probably went through in high school, junior high. I don't understand when people are like, those are the best years of my life. Those years sucked for me. I was not stoked on it at all. I never had fun with it, man. Everybody hated my ass because I was so different on everything. I just simply didn't know how to be anything else. I haven't known how to be anything else from the start. And it has become my greatest asset. The thing that used to cause me the most pain has become my greatest asset, which really means that the things that you think are character defects, the things that you think are actively the things wrong with you, are just literally, they're assets you haven't learned to capitalize on yet. As long as you're not capitalizing on an asset, of course it's going to be a drag because it's just dead weight until you're capitalizing on it. But you must realize that those are your unique gifts. So please, I love y'all. I'm serious. When I say this, if it gets you feeling angry at me, good, because that means you're thinking. If it gets you feeling sad about some stuff, again, good, because you're thinking. Thinking is the most difficult thing a man or woman can do. That's why so few people do it. It's easier to go and break your back on a fucking construction site every day and work a job that you hate, or go in and work a 9-to-5 office job that you hate and call it work, than it is to sit down and think your way into a better life. And that's why so many people do it. Love y'all.